Hello, hi everybody. Welcome to a video, I guess you could call it. You see, I'm doing this on an unlisted stream because I don't like to take up hard drive space with videos. That's the reason I'm doing this, but I did want to upload a video like this, how I was missing the videos I used to make, so I thought I'd make one similar. This is a continuation of my top 10 LRs, although essentially that video should just be the top 10 units of the game, because obviously the top 10 best units of the game are also the top best LRs, so that's not really a debate. So yeah, I hope you all enjoy. I might have more videos like those coming soon where I make more dokkan content. I do like making dokkan content, it's pretty fun. Now anyway, let's get into it at number 10. I did spoil this a little bit. It is the Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. And now this guy came out 3 months ago. Exactly on the dot 3 months, I believe. September 16th. Alright, so I pulled this guy this morning on Global. He's good, right? Now, why is he good? Well, look, 70% attack and defense, that's insane on an LR. So, in mine's 55%. He'll be sitting around 80k so defense. And then, 4% attack and time key raises by 1 up to 70%. So if he gets 18 key, I believe this means that this will be maxed out. Let's say he has like 70 to 80k defense. If you get him to 18 key, his defensive side is like 100 to like 110k, which is very good. And he can get a 30% defensive buff on his 12 key. Anyway, key 3 when there's an ally whose name includes Goku attacking in the same turn, and then another 3 key when there's a Busaga Goku in the same turn. Now, a Busaga Goku is how you get this guy to go from he's solid to be Alright, listen. A Busaga Goku is how this guy is, he's a good LR, he's solid too. Oh yeah, this guy's a top 10 unit in the game. That's the thing, right? So with a Busaga Goku, you can get 6 key, and remember, every time his key goes up, he gets extra attack and defense. But the main thing is this active skill and this, right? This unit super attack. First of all, we need to talk about his active skill, because this active skill is insane. 1 key, helpful, 59% attack. That's an out of turn active skill buff. That's a huge buff. And then 78% defense for 1 turn. That is like the biggest buff, dude. Like active skill buff, dude. Look at that. And you will see some later active skill buffs, attack and defense buffs. They ain't got nothing on this. Can be activated as a Busaga Goku for the 3rd turn. That's not the worst restriction. Although, for example, on his teams, Vegeta family were worthy rivals. You're not going to be able to have a Busaga Goku because he's not on. He's obviously not on Vegeta family, and Goku's not on worthy rivals. But that restriction is not that bad because, like, Resurrected Warriors, obviously Busaga, Pure Saiyans, all that, you can do it. But, and then if you have a Goku, and if you have 18 key, you can do the unit super attack, which is just, like, it's just better. He gets a 50% attack buff on a super, and he massively lowers defense compared to his normal 18 key, which does not raise attack in any way and only greatly lowers defense. So that's very good. But like this active skill, at 55%, the highest attacks that I've gotten out of this Vegeta was like 6.4, which is huge. That's a huge attack stat. Well, like 6.4 million, 55%. That's like one of the higher attack stats I've gotten on either of my accounts, Global or JP. That puts this guy at number 10. Fantastic unit. Next up, number 9, we have Goku and Vegeta. Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. These guys have not been out for too long, June and December. These guys have barely been out in the Global Edition. Now, these guys are in a weird spot because realistically, you could like what this spot. A lot of these spots can be interchangeable, in my opinion. But I just put them here. Now, what do? All Out Struggle and Join Forces. Oh, I didn't talk about this guy's category lead. Worthy Rivals Key 4, 150%. Oh, so one more thing I forgot to talk about. This guy is a huge buff to a lot of categories that need it. This category, Otherworld Warriors, needs it badly. Super Saiyan 2 needs it badly. All Out Struggle could need it. Worthy Rivals definitely needed it. Resurrected Warriors, but that's the point. He gave a lot, like, these 3 teams, oh yeah, and Super Saiyan 2, these 4 teams needed buffs. All Out Struggle is like the least needing of buffs, but they still all needed buffs. Anyway, these guys lead All Out Struggle and Join Forces. That's a solid leader skill. 2 solid categories. To definitely nothing to really hate on that. Now, they're passive. Attack and defense 70%. Good. Plus an additional attack 7% per key spear obtained. That's very good. Like, this, like, just having this on top of their LR stats, like, they're already solid. Like, they're already, like, an okay unit. Or, like a good unit. And then, chance of performing critical hit plus 7%. That's insane, too. Key 2 launches an additional attack up to 3 per key spear obtained. Or, per rainbow key spear obtained. My bad. So, essentially, they get 2 key per rainbow spear, which is nice. Help them launch more 18 key supers, all that. But then they can also launch additional normal attacks. They cannot be super attacks. So let me clarify that they cannot be super attacks, but they can be normals, and those normals can definitely hurt, especially if you have dupes of them and you go crit. But they do have crit chance. So you have a bit of crit chance, but also, word of advice: if you're gonna build these guys, hit a potential system, go all crits. Except for maybe for those nodes where it's either additional or dodge. In that case, go additional because you can get some more of these 50% attack and defensive buffs on the supers, which is nice. Anyway, let's talk about their active skill. Their key 24, that's good, which obviously instant 24 key 18 key super, attack 70%, but defense minus 50%, and that's what I mean about this guy. 59 and 78. But these guys, they have a 70% attack buff, which is good, but they minus 50%. Can be activated 50% or lower HP. That's not that bad of a restriction. It doesn't matter like for what turn, just if they're under 50% HP, they'll do it. And by the way, this is just one of the cooler units in the game. Like these two, such an epic moment in the anime. Their super attack effect is amazing, dude. Great raise attack and defense for 1 turn, colossal damage, and lowers attack. And obviously, then they lower attack and defense, and they still greatly raise. Now, listen, with just this, at 55%, you're going to be looking like, what, their defense is 11k, 55%? Yeah, so you're going to be looking at like an 80k to 90k defensive stat just off this. Their starter turn 70%. Then, let's say you get a decent amount of orbs. Let's say you get 5 orbs. You're probably going to be looking at a 120k defensive stat, right? But then they get a 50% defensive buff on their attack. Wait. Oh, don't my bad. They get a 50%, so that's like 160, 170k so defensive stat. That's insane. The only way that this guy can reach those kind of defensive numbers is on this active skill. Like, dude, on active skill, he's looking like 200 some k so defense, but that's not the point. Although this does hurt, but let's say you're in super battle and you see the finish off an enemy. This is so good. It just pack out this extra damage, the extra key, very helpful. By the way, their links are insane. Super Saiyan, Godly Power, Warrior Gods, Fierce Battle, Combat Metal, Legendary Power. Now, I know a common hate on this unit is that they have, the only key link they have is Tournament of Power. And that's understandable. They don't have prepared for battle or anything like that. So, like, let's say you want to run them on the Realm of Gods team. Most units on the team are over in a flash prepared for battle. These guys have none, or Shocking Speed. But you have to keep in mind that they will get key just fine because the extra key 2 per the Rainbow Key Spear. I understand why, but they're still usable on these teams, especially because a lot of common units do give themselves key either in this way or they just have key at start of turn. But obviously they are forced to be reckoned with on Survival Saga and Rep 7, and they're extremely good on all of these teams. And that's why I think Goku and Vegeta are at number 9. Now, at number 8, we have Blue Gogeta. Now, obviously, these two were number 2 and 1 on my last list. Now, you could put these guys ahead of these two. I don't really mind. It just, whatever your opinion is, I don't really, I won't differ. But since I've already gone over these guys a lot of times in other videos, I'm going to go over them very briefly. Now, in these states, they're not the best units. I mean, they're okay. But obviously, the main thing is when they go blue. But a lot of people don't like these guys in Super Battle Road, but they have a 50% chance to dodge in the 3rd slot. And then you keep them in that 3rd slot until they go blue. And then this is when they're just nuts. Right? Because they set 77%, they raise attack and defense or just raise defense. So they're like key 5 for Gogeta. He's effective against all types. And he can still have the 50% chance to dodge if you put him in the 3rd slot. And this This is super good. This is a huge, especially if you put in the middle slot and he's effective against all types, or you could put him in the third slot and then do this active skill, and then he's guaranteed to do an additional 12 key super. Like, and the fact that he just builds up a 77% on top of his already 77% buff on top of an attack stat of that, which is stupid. And like I said, I didn't want to go over him too much. That's very, very briefly. That's why Gogeta is at number 7. No, 8. Wait. No, he's at 7. Okay. Number 6. Wait, I think I have that wrong. Yeah. 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th. I think I have 11. Yeah, I do. Well, I guess this is the top 11. Whatever. Alright. Now we have Vegito. Alright. This was the number 1 best unit in the game on my previous top 10 LRs video. Now, he does essentially everything Gogeta does. In this form, he's the exact same, but obviously he's Vegito. His links are a bit different. He's Tech, and he leads Batar instead of Fusion, which is better. Now, the reason is because he has a guaranteed additional super, which essentially it's a trade-off. You have attack super effective against all types on Gogeta. That's nice. Then this guy has a guaranteed additional 12 key. Now, the reason is because Vegito, he'll do almost as much damage, but his defense is so much better because you're going to get either this or this for the first attack, and then you're guaranteed to get another 30% defensive buff. That's why I think he's better. I've already gone over this. Still has Final Kamehameha. He's insane. I just think he's a bit better. That's why I have Vegito at number 6. Now, anyway, let's get to the longer things because I didn't want to go over them that much. Now we have this guy. Oh, sorry. This guy has not been out for long, obviously. These two are insane. Obviously, they're next. The counterpart of this guy, these two are nuts. Power Absorption or Majin Power, Key 4 170, not bad. But then look, this guy can stack attack or defense in this form, which means he'll get, for the rest of the battle, he will have these buffs. Now, that's insane. Because look, literally, all you have to do with this guy is like get 1 or 2 defensive stacks, and then you transform him, and then bam, he is set for all of the entire Infinite Dragon Ball History stage, or Legendary Goku event, anything. In Super Battle Road, this guy is good. But listen, his defensive stat is pretty high. For example, like this guy, 10k, or you could go off his rainbow stats, either or. His defensive stat is high. Like, look, this guy's 8k at 55%. That's very low. You're 8k. Like, look, his defense stat is 11k. So, listen, turn 1, I have this guy on JP. 55%, turn 1, he'll be at about 100k defensive stat. And then, if you get 18 key, bam, he's going to get an extra 30% for the rest of the fight. Now, it's very easy to get this guy 18 key supers because he gets 1 key per any key super obtained that is not a rainbow key spirit. That's nuts. And he has a 25% chance of launching an additional super attack. Not only is that free damage, it's also a raised attack buff. That's a 30% attack buff for the rest of the fight. And this recovers 12% HP at start of turn. That is huge. 12% HP. That's a huge buff every single turn. Every time he comes on rotation, bam, 12% health. Stupid good. His links are good. Listen, Majin Buu units will always have insane links. They got a huge buff from the link level update. It's stupid. Like, look, Metamorphosis, 5% HP, 10% attack and defense. Shocking Speed, Key 2, 5% defense. While Standing Tall, and that one isn't too. Fear and Faith is a good link. Majin, dude, Key 2, attack and defense, 15%. And obviously, Fierce Battle and Legendary Power, obviously, great links. The categories he's on are good. Busag, he's insane on Transformation Boost, insane on Artificial Sunset, insane on Kamehameha, he's solid Final Trump Card, he's solid Majin Power, he is the best unit on that category, I would imagine, and Power Absorption, he's the best unit on that category. He is so good. Like, and he can work on Kamehameha Trump Card because he has Shocking Speed, and so, like, he won't not link up bad in terms of key. He won't get too many of these, but I mean, when you're 100% attack and defense, he's still going to be hitting like 3 mil as long as you get him 24 key. Alright, now his transformation. Oh yeah, I gotta go transformation condition. Absorb Skull Gohan can be activated 50% or more HP from the 4th turn. That's easy because he's going to be recovering HP, so even if you take damage, you can probably recover that up, and it's only the 4th turn. That's not hard. Now this guy, he becomes special. He raises attack for 1 turn, which is a nice 30% buff on super, not bad. Recovers 10% HP at start of turn, that's a bit worse, but he becomes 150%. Let's say you have not stacked his defense at all, and you just transform. His defensive stat is going to be in the 120k to like around 120k at 55%. Launch an additional attack that has a 25% chance of becoming a super attack. That's great. Key 1 per any spirit obtained, now including Sosa Rainbow. And he has key 5 for 5 turns, which is cool. That's free key. And also, by the way, he does gain Big Bad Bosses, which is nuts. And he seals the attacked enemy super attack for 5 turns. That's pretty dang good. Now, compared to the Vegito, which is next in line on the list, this effect, the Vegito effect, is definitely better. I'll go over that, but sealing is still incredibly helpful. This guy's a monster super battle art. He's insane in any long event. This guy is a godly unit. I put him at number 5, although this is the top 11. So technically he's 6, but whatever. Alright, now we have the Super Vegito. These guys, like, I've heard people argue them, they're as high as 1, but whatever it is, they're nuts. Now, Battle of Wits or Boost Cycle. We needed a new Boost Cycle leader. I'm glad we got one, and Battle of Wits is a solid category. This leader skill is nuts, right? Very good. Now, they raise attack and defense for 1 turn. That's a 30% SA buff and a 30% defense buff for 1 turn. That's nuts. Now, look. 120%. Well, their defensive stat is lower. So, if they're 55%, their defensive stat is going to be about 90k turn 1. But 30% damage reduction. 30% damage reduction. And they get a 30% defensive buff. So, after this, they're at about 120k defense. And then they're at 30% damage reduction, which is the equivalent of like a near 200k defensive stat. I mean, like 120k so defense plus 30% damage reduction. The equivalent defensive stat would be like 180 to 170k. And they get 1 key per any key spirit that is not rainbow, and they have 25% chance to launch additional super attack, which will give them another raise attack and today's defensive buff. Now, their effect is also not hard to get. 77% or less HP, that's not too bad, and 4th turn, not bad. Their links are pretty good. Saiyan Warrior Race is insane. Experienced Fighters is solid. Saiyan Lineage is solid. Talking Speed is great. Prepared for Battle is great. First Battle is great. Legendary Power is great. And the teams, dude. Majin Buu Saga, Patara, Pure Saiyan, Joy Force, and Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, and they can fit on all those categories. Like, they're not oddballs on any of these categories. They're not like, you know, for example, they're not like this guy on Kamehameha. He's a little funky on that category. They're not on any of those categories. Now, once they transform, they recover 50% HP. Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah. So they recover 50% HP. That's super good. 150%. Now, they do lose their damage reduction. And I have thought this ever since this guy was revealed and I saw his information. If this guy were to still keep his 30% damage reduction, he would be the best unit in the game, in my opinion. If he were to have the 30% damage reduction in this form, he would be the best unit in the game. But he doesn't. He loses it. Now, 150%. Insane buff. 25% chance of performing a crit. That's good, and on top of that, even if you have him at 55%, he's still going to have the 5 crit from the 55% hidden potential system, and a 25% chance of critting here. Now, he counters. This guy's counters, I have seen this guy hit. I have this guy on JP, right? I have seen him hit counters over a million attacks set on counters, and he's critting. He gets 1 key per key spear, key 5, and foresees enemy super attacks for 10 turns. For 10 turns. Are you kidding me? For 10 turns. Being able to foresee enemy super attacks is one of the best effects in the game, because you know exactly where the super attack's going. Because this guy is not the best defensive unit. Turn 1, 55%, he'll be at about 100k, 110k so defense. And then you get 30%. That's not the best defense, that's like 130k. Like, if you already have damage reduction, it's over. If you already have damage reduction on top of this, it's over. But he doesn't. He does gain Power Stone, but got Super Saiyan Kamehameha. Both all great links. Like all those links are so much helpful, especially Super Saiyan for obvious reasons. Like you instantly know where the enemy super attack's coming. Between the healing, the 150%, but listen, the main thing, the crits and the counters, dude. He's hitting so much damage with crit counters, insane. That's why they are at number 5/4. I don't, wherever they land. Now, Gohan, released December 15th, 2020. This guy has been out for a day. I think he sits at 4th. For one reason or another that I will go over right now. So, Gohan. Movie Heroes Key 413% or Super Tech. Not the craziest leader skill, but it's okay. Raises attack and defense for 1 turn or raises defense. Solid. And he either greatly lowers or massively lowers defense. Now, his attack and defense 58%. Not bad. 1 key per key spear obtained. That's insane. I love that so much. Plus initial attack 7%, attack and defense 7% work keys spear obtained. Now keep in mind that this is the only defense he can get. Everything I've just listed, this, and this. That is his only defense. Now, I've seen videos of this guy. I've seen showcases. So at 55%, with just the start of turn buff, he's sitting at about at Rainbow with 50%, he's sitting at about 100k so defense before he's done anything. 55% estimation, he'd be sitting around 70k so defense. It's not too bad. And then after the orbs, he can get about I can get like 7% attack and defense per orb. I would say I wouldn't say. I've seen him at 55% be about 100k to 110k defense. Then a 30% defensive buff either way. That's like 140k defense. That's not the craziest in the world considering other units on here that can reach 200k defense plus. You know, that have damage reduction or they have something. Like this Boo, if you just get, if you get 2 defensive stacks, which is not hard to do, and then you transform, he's at like 210k defense. Anyway, but that's not the main thing is Gohan. The main thing with this Gohan is the damage. Now, obviously, he can get a lot of damage between the 58% and the attack 7% per key spear. That's insane. Plus additional attack 50% when performing an ultra super attack. So that means if you do this, he's getting an extra 58% on top of the fact that it's already going to do some more damage than his 12 key by quite a bit. Medium chance, 25% chance of launching an additional super attack. That's good. You could get another defensive buff, put him at about 160k defense. Now, and by the way, what I mean getting to 100k defense with orbs, I'm talking like getting like an okay amount of orbs, like 5 orbs, which isn't too many. Now, anyway, that's nice. It's helpful. Plus, it just was like 59% if an attack becomes a critical hit when performing an ultra super attack. See, now this is where like he has a lot of restrictions. When performing an ultra super attack, if it's 50% are left with a movie hero category ally whose name's Goku on the team for the 5th turn. Like, you see all those restrictions. It has to be when performing an ultra super attack. You have to be 58% or low HP and a movie hero Goku from the 5th turn. That's quite a bit of restriction. Now his active skill, 12 key and 50 and another 59%. So think about it. There's a 58% attack from start of his passive, 7% attack per orb, 58% when performing an ultra, 59% if you have a movie hero Goku on rotation, and then another 59% if you hit his active skill. For 1 turn, can be activated 50% or less on the movie hero. Now this active skill, it's the same restriction as this for the most part, except it's just not when performing an ultra super attack. So essentially, if you can get this, you can get this. So, and then they'll activate double. So you get 50%, 59% attack, then another 59%. Now, if you can get all of this and get a solid amount of orbs, even like at 55%, you're going to be looking at like a 15 to 14 million attack stat with a decent amount of his links active. If you can get all this to come together, he can do like a 15 million attack stat, and he could launch a 12 key that'll be hitting like 9 million, which is still an insane attack stat, like 9 to 8 million, which is huge. That's why this guy sits at 4. Is because if you do get these restrictions met, he'll just hit. Like, it's not even funny how hard he hits. This guy's like up. He's like one of the hard. He might. It's in contention between him and Kaioken Blue Goku, who is the hardest single attack in the game. It's up there. You know, it could be one or the other. Whichever way, he's either top 2 or top 1 hardest hitter in the game. This guy's been up for 1 day. He's insane. Real quick, another knock on him is why he isn't higher is because his links. Listen, Gaze Respect, All in the Family, Shattering the Limit. Those 3 are just knocks. All in the Family is solid, but Gaze Respect, Shattering the Limit, dude, it's just that could be Fierce Battle right there, and that's what sucks. And Gaze Respect, just it's nobody has that. So these 3 links, All in the Family is okay. Like it's fairly common. Shattering the Limit's common, but it could be Fierce Battle, and Gaze Respect just bad. So yeah. Another knock on him why he's in higher. And his categories are all insane. Hybrid Saiyans, full power movie hero. Yeah, he's good on every single category. That puts Gohan at 4th. Now coming in at 3rd, we have LR Turles. This guy has not been out long. 22nd of October, he's only out on JP. Now, Terrifying Conqueror's Key 4, 130 or Extreme SCR. Not bad, but that's not why he's up here. A medium chance to stun the enemy. Not bad. Raises attack for 1 turn, 30% buff, and Mega Colossal with a high chance, a 50% chance of stun. That's nuts. That's a coin flip chance of stun. That's nuts. Alright. Dude, I say that's nuts a lot. I realize that, but what? So I say that's insane? Either way, it doesn't really matter. Now, 130%. That's obviously an insane buff. Terrifying Conquerors, category allies, key 3, and attack and defense 30%. That does apply to themselves, by the way, I believe. So they're 130%, and the extra 30% on top of that, and they give themselves key 3. Plus an additional key 6, and effective against all types when target enemy is stunned. They stun a lot, obviously. Attacks effective against all types and high chance of launching a additional attack when key is 24. Now, obviously, if they're stunned, they're going to get key 6. They're already giving themselves key 3. And so then they have they're effective against all types, and they have a 50% chance to launch an additional super, which could stun again because it's 12 key. And then their active skill, 24 key, which obviously will activate that. It can be activated when 60% are left from the 8th turn. That's a bit of a hard restriction because 8th turn is like only, Infinite Dragon Ball history or legendary Goku event, but even if they didn't have this, they would still be like around one of these few. But with this, it's just helpful, and you can do it twice, which means you can do that twice now. And by the way, with Key, they also have prepared for battle, which gives themselves another 2 key on top of the 3 key that they give themselves. Plus, they could give themselves 6 of the stunned. And then they can get those 24 key from the active skill. Now listen, Turles turn 1, Rainbowed is at like a 220k defensive stat. So let's say they're not Rainbow. Let's say they're 55%. They would be roughly, estimation is on that same rotation that I've seen in Rainbow. They would make 190k defensive stat to 180k defensive stat. Turn 1. That's insane. And then on top of the fact that he has a high chance to stun in Super Battle, that's so good. And then he can be effective against all types. And he's a big bad boss's unit, and his links are all good. And look, like, he's insane on this team, he's alright on this team, he's insane on this team, he's okay on this team, and he's insane on that team. Like, he fits in so well with all these other villain units. He's so good. I put Turles at 3. Number 2, Lirui Goku. Hasn't been out for too long, but obviously a lot of these units are going to be, newer units. Now, Romagod's Key for 130 or Super SCR 100. That's definitely the best of, these leader skills that we've seen, because it is Romagods, which is like the best category in the game. But still, he's not a 150 to 170, but it's definitely still a passable leader skill for a unit that's this good. Now, he disables enemy guard. That's not... I wish he were to raise attack and defense 1 turn, but disabling enemy guard is not bad, because even if he's facing an AGL unit, that means that they won't resist because they have type advantage. It'll just make it even, so it'll be like he's attacking a type neutral unit. That's definitely helpful, but not the craziest, and that's one of the reasons why he's not 1. Now, attack and defense 77%. He's essentially very similar to the Blue Fusions, but he's just a bit better because a lot of the things he does is better. Now, listen, 70% chance to dodge for 7 turns. Don't even, dude, it's so good. And then after the 7 turns, for the rest of the fight, he has a coin flip chance to dodge, which is still good. And, or starting from the 8th turn. So, yeah, so on after that, he has a 50% chance. Plus key 1, up to 7, and attack and defense plus 11%, up to 77% every time he dodges. And he has a 70% chance to dodge. And he will build it. He only has to dodge 7 times that fully built up. So look at his stats. 9k defense is a little below average, and then 12k attack. Wait, hold on. Oh, no. Sorry. I misread that. 9k defense and 20,000 attack. For example, let's bring up you. Your attack is 18k. Your attack. No, yours is the same. How about yours? Yeah, look, his attack is only 17k, and these are all LRs. This guy is near 20,000, and his defense is a little below average, but listen, after he's fully built, listen, turn 1, 55%, his defensive stats gonna be like what 80k. But dude, you have to keep in mind that he has a 70% chance to dodge every single attack, and then once he's fully built, his defensive stat is like 130, 150k, 130 to 150k, 55%, with a 70 to 50% chance to dodge. That dodging is the reason why he's number 2. And don't even get me started on his links. Kamehameha, prepared for battle, godly power, over and flash, permanent power, first battle, legendary power. His link set is so good. He can fit on any of these teams. Any of these teams he fits perfectly. Like the dodging and the fact that he has good defense and he can hit like a 6 mil attack stat, it's too good. That puts SCR UI Saiyan Goku at number 2. Now, number 1, it's LR Jiren. You can interchange these two, but I think LR Jiren has a slight advantage, and I'll show you why. Universe 11, 170%. This category is not the best, but he does lead Survival Saga 150%, and that's obviously a great category. Colossal damage and greatly lowers defense, not bad. Mega Colossal and massively lowers defense with a medium chance of stunning. That's a 30% chance to stun for 2 turns, not bad. And he does massively lower defense. Hey, that's 80% defense lower. Now, 200% attack and defense. That is the highest buff we have ever seen for stuff like that. For example, let's bring up you. 58% start of turn, 130% start of turn, 77%. These guys are 150% when they transform by 120. You're 70%, 70%. Now, obviously, he doesn't build up like all these guys. Listen, Jiren is a turn 1 monster. 200% attack and defense. His defensive stat, 55% at 11k. Turn 1. I've seen his defensive stat be about 140k to 150k turn 1 with nothing else done, which is a solid defensive stat. No doubt about that. That's a good defensive stat. Now, key limit attack receives up to 5. That's nice, especially because he only has, well, no, he has tournament power, but he only has shocking speed. Unless you're running Survival Saga, then yes, well, you will have this active essentially all the time. But if you're running him on Realm of Gods, he only has this for key, which is nice. Now, attacks effective against all types and target enemies attack down or defense down status, which he does do, and performs a crit on stun enemies, which he also does do. Now listen, with this he's good, but then his active skill, which is not hard to get, can be activated upon entering the next attack turn. So after he's hit 5 times, which is whenever his key is fully built, by the way. After he's hit 5 times, so the next time he comes around, he will be able to use his active skill. It's extra 30% attack and defense, which for an active skill buff is huge. So you know that 150k defensive stat I was talking about? Now he's sitting at about 190 to 200k defense, and that's at 55%. If you have him with dupes or rainbowed, like maybe 250k to 240k defense, and he minus 30% attack and defense for the enemy, and he guaranteed stuns. And by the way, when they're stunned, he performs a guaranteed crit. And when they're attacked down, he's effective against all types. And that's why Jiren's the best unit in the game. His links are solid. Supreme Warrior is okay. Shocking Speed's great. And Fighter's solid. Godly Power's insane. You're insane. You're insane. You're insane. He's only on a handful of categories, but he's great on all of them. He's great on this. He's great on this. He's great on this. He's great on this. He is okay on that. just like Jiren is just most likely like I think he's like the consensus best unit in the game. Like most people agree. Some people argue this guy. Not many argue Turles, but I think he's up there. Some people might argue this guy that came out. Oh, some people might argue them. I don't think people argue these two anymore. But yeah, some might argue these guys, but I don't know how. But I'm sure some do. That has been my top 10 list, or top 11, I believe, of the best units in Dokkan Battle. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all enjoyed me coming back for a little bit. Who knows if I'll keep uploading consistently. I might just upload like this every now and then. I'm sorry I had to do this in a live stream format, but I just don't like to take up hard drive space on my PC, so that's why I don't do that. But after this video is done, I will put it on public, and it'll be just like any other video you would watch. Bye, guys. Have a good day. See ya.